Hi guys, welcome. As you know, as the title says, today I'm going to be talking about, let me just adjust this, my journey with Ampcoil so far. If you don't know what Ampcoil is, it is a PEMF device, which, long story short, sends frequency to your body in order to make your body inhabitable for toxins. It's kind of hard to explain, but that's the simplest way to put it. So what it is like an amplifier, and then there's a modified Tesla coil that you hold over your body, and you do these different journeys that are supposed to get rid of toxins, get rid of bacteria, boost your organs, boost your brain, that sort of thing. So I'm going to be talking about my journey with buying it and using it so far. If you see me looking down, I have my notes here. If I'm talking too fast, feel free to stop me. If you have any questions, drop them and I will get to them as soon as possible. Okay, so I purchased the Ampcoil in August. I have been looking at it for months. I was diagnosed with Lyme in April, but I had an idea that I had Lyme before April when I was diagnosed. I have a previous broadcast where I talked about my treatment previous to getting the Ampcoil, which were just basically antibiotics and antimicrobials, like herbal support stuff. So when I finally decided to buy the Ampcoil, I had a financial blessing which allowed me to have the down payment for the financing. So prior to actually making the call to finance the Ampcoil, I had spoken to a few different people um, at Ampcoil asking about the pricing and how the financing works. Everybody was really nice. I did get some conflicting information, but I mean, for the price of the device, the few hundreds of dollars honestly didn't make a difference to me. Once I decided to buy it, I just bought it. Um, so the down payment, I want to say, was like $600. And I spoke to someone, I don't remember his name, but it wasn't a good experience. I'm going to be completely honest. I found him to be really condescending. Um, I told him about the conflicting information that I had received previously. He kind of just like blew it off, like, oh no, that's incorrect, it's this. Everything went through as far as the application, everything like that, but I just didn't like the experience with the person that I was speaking to. Um, oh, no problem. Um, so after that, I was told that I would hear about the financing, the whether or not I was approved for the financing within a few days. I didn't hear anything. I just assumed that I was approved because, I mean, it's a device for people who are sick. Obviously, our credit scores aren't going to be the greatest. Most of us have medical debt. A lot of us can't work. But I didn't get approved. My credit score is suffering due to my medical bills and I did not get approved. So I called because I was confused, I was concerned, I was obviously upset. I really wanted the device. So I spoke to Mira. She is in the acquisition department, or the department that you speak to when you want to purchase it. She kind of apologized for my experience with the previous person. She explained how the financing worked and why I was not approved. I kind of told her my opinion, and I just explained to her that I didn't think it was fair because, like I said, many people with Lyme or many people with chronic illnesses are going to be in the same boat. We don't have good credit scores. We don't have extra money. A lot of us don't work. So she told me that she wasn't sure anything could be done, but she would have the founder of the company give me a call. So I would say it was probably the next day, not even 24 hours. I spoke directly to the founder, Aaron Bigelow, the co-founder with his wife. He was awesome. He was so empathetic. He seemed so genuine. He was so calm, and he wasn't even supposed to be working. He was like on vacation, and he took the time to text and call me. And what ended up happening was they basically fronted the bill. And please excuse me, I can't remember the terms and names of a lot of things right now. I'm kind of herxing. So they basically fronted the bill. Ampcoil fronted the bill for me. And it's still the financing. So I'm paying the financing company, but it's kind of like they co-signed so that I was able to get the coil. So when you actually purchase it, they tell you that it takes, I want to say like 3 weeks to come. It can take up to 3 weeks. Mine came in like 3 days, which was really awesome. I was not expecting it. I was really excited. And when it came, I had to send it to my parents' house because it was really, really heavy and really expensive. And I wanted to make sure that someone's going to be able to get it. When I went to pick it up from my parents' house, I did not use it immediately. I was in the process of moving and I wanted to make sure that I had it set up because you can't have any electronics or credit and debit cards, anything like that near it when you're using it. So right now I have it in my living room, kind of next to my couch, and the TV and everything is across the room. So once I got it set up, I went through the quick start guide, which is like a simplified version of the manual. Also, being brutally honest, it wasn't easy for me to understand. I really had a hard time comprehending it. There's what they call flow charts, and there are different ones depending on your level of wellness. So there's an accelerated program, which would be for a healthy person. I know there's no way I would have been able to handle that, which I'll get to in a second. There's one for if you have Lyme disease and you're not prone to herxing, and there's one if you have Lyme disease and you are prone to herxing. There's a few more, but those are just the ones that I remember off the top of my head. So I did the one for if you are prone to herxing. So I started with rejuvenation journeys. Those journeys do not have any cleansing or detox frequencies, so they shouldn't have caused a herx, which they did not. All they did was make me really sleepy. I don't even really remember the ones that I did. I want to say I did like immune boost and like I don't remember, but I just did the rejuvenating journeys. Only thing I felt with those was tired. Like I was really tired. After I did the rejuvenation journeys, I did the voice analysis. I kind of procrastinated because I was scared. I honestly, like, we know how it feels to have a diagnosis. Obviously, you want to have answers. You know, you want to know what's going on with yourself so you can treat it, but some of it is scary, and I didn't want to know what the voice analysis was going to say. Obviously, we don't know how accurate it is, but I believe it has some accuracy to it, and I was nervous, but I did it. It kind of told me what I needed to treat, which I already knew almost all of it. Some of it was confirmed, some of it was assumed. There's certain things that just come along with autoimmune diseases, and there's certain things that just come along with Lyme, so I knew. So after I did those, the rejuvenation journey, I did the voice analysis to let me know where I needed to go after I got through the high herx flowchart. I continued on the flowchart, and after the rejuvenation journeys was the detox, the 30-step detox. The 30-step detox can often take people at least 2 months. For people with Lyme, probably a lot more. For people who are electronically sensitive or electrically sensitive, a lot more like me. So the first part of the 30-step detox is airways. I herxed so bad. I did it on medium the first time. About 10 minutes in, I already had a seizure. For me, I only have seizures when I herx. So yeah, about 10 minutes into the airways detox, I had a seizure. I want to say like it was one of the worst seizures I've ever had too. I want to say like another 5 minutes later, I had another seizure. But I kept going. Like I said, that's normal for me when I herx, so it wasn't too alarming. I expected to herx, like I'm doing a detox. And then after that, I did herx help, which I didn't have a seizure, but I felt like I could. So that kind of clued me in that I'm electrically sensitive. It is possible, depending on where you live, to try the Ampcoil before you buy it, so you would know whether or not you're electrically sensitive. You can find an ambassador in your area who would allow you to try it. Sometimes it's for a fee. I believe most of the time it's for a fee. I didn't do that because I felt as though doing it a few times, having a few sessions with the ambassador wasn't going to really give me any results, and it was going to be a waste of money, in my opinion, because I was going to spend money paying someone else to do this when I was going to purchase the device anyway. So I didn't do it. it's reselling the device shouldn't be too hard. So if it ever comes to that, you know, that's just what I'll have to do. Um, so back to what I did when I got the coil. I did the rejuvenation journeys. I did the airways detox. If you hurt on a step, you're supposed to repeat it 4 times. So the first time I did it on medium, terrible herx. The second time I did it on low, I felt herxy the next day. After that first time, the seizures the next day, I had the worst migraine I ever had. I've never had a migraine where your head pounds when you're not moving. Obviously, we know like you stand up, it pounds, you turn over, it pounds, but just laying still, it was pounding. It was terrible. Um, when I finally got over it, I did it again. Had a migraine. I probably had a few mild seizures. And I did it 4 times, like they suggest. And after that, I was kind of discouraged. I was really discouraged. My reaction had been so severe that I didn't know if I had made the right choice by purchasing an electronic device when I am electrically sensitive. So I reached out to support, and they were absolutely amazing. I don't remember the original person that I spoke to, but the person that ended up calling me was Mindy. I love her. I wish I could talk to her every time I call support. Not to discredit anyone else. I haven't actually really spoken to anyone else, but she just really, first of all, she has Lyme herself, so she understood a lot of what I was going through. And she really dumbed things down, for lack of a better way to say it. She really explained things in a way that I could understand, and that I could apply to myself using the coil. And her and Lori, who is, I want to say, like the manager of the support department, they came up with what's called an abbreviated cleanse for me. So what it means is that I don't follow the flow chart in a way that someone else should. Instead of doing the 30-day detox, I went to part 2 of the cleanse, which is the next step. I skipped the detox for now, and it's been much better. I have hurt. It's been very, very mild, like maybe a mild headache and a little twitching, but no seizures, no migraine, um, none of that stuff, no extreme fatigue. I mean, I would say my fatigue every day is naturally extreme, but it wasn't too much worse than it usually is. So that's where I am now. I finished part 1 of the cleanse. The next part of the cleanse is the intestinal parasite part, which I am absolutely terrified to do. I haven't been diagnosed by a doctor with intestinal parasites, but most people with Lyme have them. Lyme makes you susceptible to them. Most people in the United States have them. Most people who eat sushi have them. I have a lot of factors that would lead me to have them. So I probably have them. I'm terrified. I don't even want to say it out loud. But that is the next part of my cleanse. So yeah, I mean, I haven't been able to use the coil that much. I don't have too much information because, you know, I just got in August. I moved before I used it. And then, it was a rough journey to begin with, but now I have full confidence in the device and I plan on continuing to use it until I'm healed. So I'll be sharing more information as time goes on. I'm debating between IGTV and YouTube. Feel free to send me a message on Instagram or leave a comment here if you have a preference, because I thought the IGTV was gonna be easier, but it's not. You still have to edit it, and then it doesn't work across platform because it's in this format. Anyway, I'm going to be posting more videos. If you would like to know when I'm going to be posting more videos, follow me on Instagram at drugfree.spoonie. That's where I announce all of these things. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me. I love answering questions. I love talking about everything that I'm going through. I love listening to people talk about theirs. I feel like that's the way to raise awareness and spread knowledge, and that's why I'm here. So yes, it was very nice speaking to you all. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message. Have a great night.